Yes. Gin Rin Showa. Oh, these are nice size.
Yeah, these are pretty good size 2-year-olds.
This definitely tells us about how the newer age Deutz, right? They don't have the size yet. These guys are quite a bit bigger, right?
Yeah, absolutely. These are beautiful Gin Rin Showa. They're all bred by Koda Koi Farm.
Koda? He's the Showa specialist?
Yeah, focuses on Gin Rin Showa and Goshiki. And these are 3 awesome examples of his bloodlines. All right, so let's get right into the details of these guys. So I say guys, I know for a fact these are males. When I bought them, Koda specifically told me, okay, all 3 of these are males. And I bought that on purpose because these Gin Rin Showa take a while to develop. And even in our water, we want to see that sumi come out as fast as possible. So these koi are sort of...
Sumi's the black for the new viewers, right?
Exactly,
okay.
Exactly. So so we want to see the sumi develop in all 3 of these varieties. So let's go ahead and let's start with this guy right here. Great body shape, really long body. Koda's Showas tend to get really, really large. We're looking at 3 things. So we're looking at the pattern, we're going to look at the body shape, and then we're going to look at the quality. And when I say quality, I'm talking about how deep the black's going to get, how finished the red is going to end up being, how deep red, and also the Gin Rin. So we have a whole other aspect to look at with these koi. So in all 3 of these, they have pretty much the same quality Gin Rin, and that's because they come, they're all brothers, right?
Right.
So in this koi here, you have to kind of imagine where the sumi is going to end up. We see this beautiful black nose here, and this by the eye.
Yes.
As I think within the next year or so, that black's going to end up going from here all the way connecting to this spot right here.
That'll look great.
And then actually probably right here too. So you'll kind of have a Y shape that comes down, which is really, really cool. It's got a great kohaku pattern. If you look at this kohaku pattern, if you take all that black away, all that sumi, it has a nice spot here, and then even a little bit of finish at the tail there, which is great. And that's one of the cool things about Showas is you can kind of have a odd kohaku pattern, because see how this kind of reaches over here and leaves this little bit blank?
Yes.
Well, it looks completely even because that...
Black balance it out.
Exactly. So another thing to point out about this guy, he's got great Montogoro. Montogoro is
that the pectoral fin color?
You got it.
Montogoro.
Yep, it's black on the pecs. And so it's nice and even on this fish. Really, really great stuff. So that's kind of an overview of Gin Rin Showa and this Gin Rin Showa, I guess.
And that one, yeah.
Right,
so we're talking about it on all.
Yeah. Next Gin Rin Showa let's talk about this fellow right here. He's the stouty guy of the bunch. He's got these kind of broad shoulders and a little bit thin tail comparatively, which means this fish probably isn't going to grow so big. It's going to have big shoulders and then kind of a little stubby body,
okay.
Right? But what's kind of cool about that is it kind of makes it look like a bulldog kind of swimming around the pond. Things I really like about it. Yeah, it's really, really great color. It's more of what we'd call like a new style Showa, Kindai Showa, right? Kindai meaning it has much less sumi, so you're kind of appreciating more the kohaku pattern, and it's being balanced out by the sumi pattern.
Right. Well, it's nice because the kohaku pattern's stretching into the face.
Yep. Yeah.
Like the first one we talked about, the kohaku pattern's not touching the face yet.
You got it. An important aspect to Showa is that you have all 3 colors going on in the face there. It's sort of that beautiful swarm of color together. Yeah. And while we're on that, let's talk about how cool the pattern is on the face. It has this really neat black sumi on the nose here, a little bit coming across there, across the eyes. I have no idea how it's going to develop in the next couple years.
That's part of the fun of getting this Showa, right?
Exactly. And the same thing, we have really interesting, beautiful sumi here and here. And you can start to see where the black's going to come up through here and on this side as well.
Yeah.
Then third and finally, we have this Showa here. So this Showa, once again, we look at the kohaku pattern. It's nice. nice sort of 3-step here, and it sort of gently has some red steps in the background. We have all 3 colors on the face. The Motogoro on this one is lacking a little bit compared to the other 2.
Definitely.
But
will the Motogoro develop a little bit more, or what you see is what you get?
So Motogoro does develop as a fish grows older. Usually, like what we see in black is what we're going to get, as far as we see a little bit of black here, we see black here. We know it's going to come up more, but there's not going to be like a magical black spot that'll usually appear here.
Okay.
So Motogoro, on the other hand, is something that can develop as a fish gets older.
Interesting.
In fact, I usually look to the development of Motogoro, meaning if there's a lot of Motogoro on a young fish, most likely its black should follow suit, meaning it should already have a lot of developed black.
Oh, that's good to know.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if a fish has a lot of black and no Motogoro, probably means it's going to get a lot more black later on, and it might be too much black.
Oh, getting tricky on us.
It's kind of complicated, and that's not a hard rule, meaning there's examples where that's not the case.
Right.
But at least when picking out Shiro Utsuri, that's what I do.
Okay, good.
So in here, the fact that it doesn't have Motogoro doesn't bother me at all, because the Sumi is still, again, the black is still developing and it's still coming in quite a bit.
Pretty solid still.
Yeah. So, but I love the pattern. Again, like this, it has a sort of Marutin, this sort of circular pattern on the head.
Yeah.
And then this black just kind of follows suit with it and sort of creeps around and even touches just like the tip of the circle there. I think that's really, really cool.
All 3 great fish. 2 stand out more to me than another.
Okay.
And but I think one is an easy selection for me, which one I would want to take. But this is great. Before we figure out which one you would pick, I want to put them back, and we're going to pick out the new fish, and we're going to tell the people, the viewers, in the next video which one we get. So let's distinguish the fish for the viewers, because they look very similar.
Sure. Uh-huh.
So let's label them, 1, 2, 3, or ABC, and so that way the viewers can go into the comments and try and select which one you're going to select.
All right. Well, let's call this guy here B for bulldog, right? 'Cause
Okay.
he's going to have that sort of bulldog type body.
Bulldogs are really popular now too, man.
Yeah, they are.
So popular. Imagine a bulldog owner with only bulldog koi. Like, that'd be cool.
Right.
Okay, so we got the B for the bulldog.
We'll go with this one for A, because it has sort of a triangular pattern of Sumi on the head, right? Which is kind of an A shape, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then we'll call this one C, because I'm being creative right now, right?
All right, that's great. All right, so the viewers need to jump onto the comments and try and select which one you think Shawn would pick, and this is going to help develop your eye to see through his eye. Let's move on to the next fish.
Cool.